Mercedes Schlapp, of course, a veteran of the Bush administration and also a political pundit extraordinaire. We see you on Fox News all the time. It's been great having you in for Brian Wilson this morning.
Great to be here.
And joining us right now, it's Frank Fiorina, the husband of Carly Fiorina. He's pounding the pavement on the campaign trail, although you're in Virginia right now, aren't you, Mr. Fiorina?
I am, and it's Frank, please. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Listen, I want you to respond to something Donald Trump said with Savannah Guthrie earlier this week. Listen.
If she's going to play, which she started about a week ago, talking about, he mentioned, and, the whole thing, playing up the women's card very, very strongly. And if she's going to play that game, and if he's going to be out there campaigning, then he's certainly fair game.
He's fair game. That's Bill Clinton. So does that mean that you're fair game too, Frank?
Well, I guess so. I've always wanted to compete with Bill Clinton.
I think you would win that round, Frank.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I've got to ask you.
I'll do my best.
I've got to ask you, as a husband, Frank Fiorina, when Donald Trump, those comments about your wife, Carly Fiorina, and those really obnoxious comments about her appearance became news. He had said something in a Rolling Stone article about your wife's face. Was it hard for you to not jump in front of every camera and say defend your wife, or for that matter, step in front of Donald Trump and give him a knuckle sandwich?
Well, I'll be honest with you. For years, I have heard people take shots at my wife, and 99% of them have been lies. And it irritates me much more than it does my wife. She can let it roll off her back. But when Donald said that he thought my wife's face was anything but beautiful, I actually thought it was humorous. I mean, take a look at the stage, and is there anyone's face on that stage that's anywhere near as pretty as my wife? No, I think not.
Definitely not Donald's.
Definitely not Donald.
Listen, tell me what it's like. You were married to Carly Fiorina when she was, one of the top executives in this country, as CEO of Hewlett Packard, and certainly she had to deal with a lot in that job. But now you're the spouse of a political person, a candidate running for president. What's the biggest difference between the two for you?
Well, there is one huge difference between her running a business, a company like HP, or being in business, and running for a political office. We both decided that politics is a fact-free zone. People just say whatever they want, and they're clearly never held accountable, as opposed to in business. If you say something that's not true in business, you are directly held accountable, especially at the level of the CEO and chairman. So I do find it stressful sometimes, to say the least.
Tell me, Frank, what are you seeing out in the campaign trails when you're going to New Hampshire and Iowa and these places, sort of the response to Carly?
Well, honestly, when we're on the trail, when I'm with her, it's amazing to me. People of all ages and come up to us literally in tears in many cases, and they're all saying the same thing. She's got to be our president. She's got to be our president. And in many cases, someone will come up to me and say, I didn't know who she was until I just heard her. She's now my candidate. So I don't understand the correlation between the polls and what we're seeing on the ground.
Our guest is Frank Fiorina. We're talking about his wife, Carly Fiorina, and her run for president. And I got to think, being a spouse of a candidate, you see people on television talking about your wife all the time and probably saying things that drive you crazy. I wonder if there's one thing you could say about Carly Fiorina that seems to get lost in the mix, that people don't get, that people don't know about her. What would it be? What would you like to say about her?
Well, there's so many things, but I guess the number one thing would be what a loving, caring person she is. When I met her 34 years ago and started dating her 32 years ago, I realized pretty quickly that not only was she going to be the love of my life, but my entire family fell in love with her. And it's not because she's smart. It's not because she's a fabulous business person. or ethical. It's because she has so much compassion and ability to love. I mean, I think that is the one thing that people obviously don't get to see when she's up on stage debating these other candidates.
I'd just love a quick follow-up on that, because her passionate defense of the unborn, I think, was one of the high points of this campaign so far. And I would love for you to sort of bring a little bit more to the table on that story. What my understanding, I've interviewed your wife about this issue, and she says that you actually are a big part of her views on the abortion issue. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, yes. My mother came from a large Italian family, and so she had 11 brothers and sisters. And when her and my father decided to have children, apparently every one of us almost killed her. So after my oldest sister was born, she was told emphatically, no more children. She cannot have children. Well, of course, good Catholic Italians, they continued to have children, and my sister again almost put her in a grave. And then I guess when I was born, they told her again, you must have an abortion, and they decided no, that wasn't going to happen. And she was in a hospital for a year, so Carly knew that story, and she was grateful. And of course, I was the apple of my mother's eye after I was born, so.
Yeah, that's.
What can I say? I'm being modest.
So, Frank, what advice do you give Carly? I mean, you're seeing her on the campaign trail. You're with her. You're seeing the obstacles. It's tough out there. What do you tell her?
Honestly, Mercy, Carly gets advice morning, noon, and night, as I do, as I make calls and meet people on the road. So I try to be very cautious about giving her any advice. But I really kind of keep my powder dry for when it's something really important. And if I think someone's misleading her in some way that's important to the campaign, then I speak up. But I just keep telling her the truth. I keep telling her she's doing an outstanding job. She's the smartest one on the stage. She's certainly the most beautiful one on the stage. And, you know, it's in God's hands, and that's the way we look at it.
We got to leave it there, Frank Fiorina, but Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you for joining us. And I got to say, if the contest comes down to who will make the classiest and best first dude, you beat Bill Clinton hands down.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to you both.